Hey everyone, Shawn Smith here with Dedicated Commercial Recovery in Roseville, Minnesota. I'm the founder and CEO doing our vlog today on how to be uncommon. And I was blessed this recent weekend to be a part of the Uncommon Man Award ceremony that Tony Dungy puts on here in Twin Cities at Hazelton Golf Course. And I got to listen to the recipient, Dabo Sweeney, talk a lot about how to be uncommon. And if you don't know Dabo, he is the head coach of Clemson and has an amazing record, winning season after season after season championship with a team that really hadn't done anything in 30 years. And I just received so many pearls of wisdom in his talk, and I thought, wow, what a powerful conversation to be having right now and how to be uncommon. And I just want to share some of the things I learned, to be honest with you, so I hope you enjoy this. So the first thing that really stuck out to me was a quote by George Washington Carver. And he said, when you can do common things in an uncommon way, you command the attention of the world. And wow, do we need that. We're based here in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and we need our leaders more than ever to do common things in an uncommon way. And you see that from the activism, you see that needed in the police force, you see that needed with our politicians and our leaders here locally. But I think that's really just a symbol for what's going on in the rest of the country and really the world. And it applies to you in business, it applies to you in your role. And that quote was just powerful. It really spoke to me, and I hope it's helpful to you. Second thing is this is something I say all the time, but it was said in a different way, but I really like saying it in this way, is figure out how to turn your disadvantages in life into your advantages. And I'll just share from my personal circumstance. I grew up, spent many years in the welfare program, sponsored Christmases. I've gone through the ringer in a lot of ways that I'll share another time, as far as both in my childhood and in my early adult life. But thankfully, through mentorship and God and focus, I figured out how to turn those things into that passion and that drive, that empathy, that desire to give back. So all the things that really could have overwhelmed me and just been the reason I couldn't do anything actually became the fuel for that. And ultimately, to me, that was a choice. I could let that defeat me, or I could choose to let it empower me. And I just believe if you look at all of the challenges, all the pain, all the things that you've gone through in your life, and you say, I am going to work so hard to never be anywhere near that in my life, and to be the opposite of that, I think that's such a powerful thing to tap in if you'll let it and use that to motivate and drive you rather than to debilitate you and to stop you from doing something. Another thing is just to be uncommon. I think you have to find ways to make things better, whether it be where you work, whether it be in your family, your social, your city, your state. Again, coming back into our area right now, getting together with some business leaders this last Saturday, and the focus was, how can we help make things better here in the Twin Cities area? We have an amazing state, just love this state. There's nowhere else I want to live, but we have some blatant challenges going on right now, and it takes people who want to be uncommon to step up and try to change and make that better. And that means leaning in versus checking out. Next is chase significance, not success. It's not just that you're trying to win, it's about how you win. Because if you win in the wrong ways, you don't get the same fulfillment and joy that comes from winning in the right way. And look, the byproduct of significance is always some form of success, whether it's relationally, spiritually, monetary, whatever it is. If you're focused on being significant to others and you benefit from that from a successful position, that is going to be fulfilling. But if the emphasis is just on being successful, that doesn't always mean you're going to have significant. And in these days, we need people to step up and look at how they can be uncommon. And I think that's one of the ways to do it, is focusing on significance and focusing on not just that you win, but how you win. Another thing that came up was just living empathetically. Putting yourself every day and in every situation in someone else's shoes and looking at it from their perspective. And man, does our world need that in so many different ways. We're constantly trying to assert our reality on other people's, but that's not their reality. Your reality is not someone else's reality. And you trying to assert your truth and your belief systems or your political view on someone else when you haven't walked a mile in their shoes is not fair. It's not going to help the situation, and it's surely not going to help things become better, and you're not going to be able to do things that are uncommon and stand out and impact others if you're always looking at it from your perspective. Another thing is choose how you're going to act, choose how you're going to live, in advance. A lot of times you're going to go into a situation, whether it be a politically charged conversation or, when I go down into Haiti and I have to choose how I'm going to carry myself, what's going to be important. Am I going to be me focused or other people's focus? Am I going to try to make that situation better, or is it going to be about me? And you choose in advance. You set mental guidelines. This is who I'm going to be. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to listen. I'm going to try to connect with them where they're at versus asking them to come over to me and my thought process. And I think just choosing in advance, how you're going to treat others and how you're going to go into situations will help program your mind and your actions as to how coming across where your heart's at will actually come out better. And as a bonus, I would say this. If you want to be uncommon, if you're a person of faith, for me, I'm a Christian, be a Christian businessman, be a Christian father, be a Christian neighbor, brother, sister, friend, stranger. I'm not trying to be a different person. When I'm at a business conference, I'm this Shawn. When I'm with my family, I'm this Shawn. I want people to see my faith value systems living out in everything that I do. And it's not about talking about it. It's that they see that in me, that I'm trying to lead with love, that I genuinely care about them. And that, unfortunately, in this day and age, there is a lot of Christians or people of faith in this country, and boy, do you have to do some heavy digging to see any of that playing out in their life. And I think if you want to be uncommon, if you want to impact those around you, and you are a person of faith, live it out. Ask other people how their faith's doing. How's their relationships? How's their prayer life going? And don't just segment that to your close friend here and there. Be willing to have that conversation at a business conference, at a luncheon, live that out. And I think that's uncommon, that when people see that you care more about them and loving them than you do your own personal agenda. And it's not about pushing the way you believe on someone else. It's about them seeing that in you. And I think that's really uncommon, and it needs to be more commonplace if we're going to make things better than how they are right now. So those are just some of the notes that I took over the weekend. I was so blessed to be in some of the meetings I was, and to those who invited me, I just again want to say a special thank you. That was just truly an incredible opportunity that I'll never forget. And I just thank you all for tuning in. I hope you find these things of value. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. We really appreciate that. If you have ideas or things you want us to cover, please put it in the notes. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and God bless.